Hey everybody, Steve Gamache here with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product review, and this time we're looking at the Konosuke HD2 Gyuto to 70mm size, so the biggest size. The steel on this, it's not really a core steel. The construction is mono steel, so the entire blade is the same steel, but it's their HD2 semi-stainless steel at a heat treat of around 61 Rockwell. So the knife does show you that name right there, so you know what steel it is. This steel is excellent. It sharpens up very easily, holds a nice edge, and is semi-stainless, so it will stain a little bit, but once you get a little, you'll get a little patina on it over time if you use it heavily. But it's just a great steel. It's so easy to sharpen, and it just takes a fantastic edge. So it has a lot of carbon steel type properties without the maintenance of a full-on reactive carbon steel. So it's great steel. The weight on these and dimensions will be pretty similar from knife to knife, but this one's 165 grams or 5.8 ounces. Edge length is about 262 on the edge, so it's not a full 270. It's about 10.3 inches on the edge, and overall length about 17 inches for 30mm. Spine thickness coming out of the handle, it's about 2.4 millimeters. So these are what we call laser class knife. They're thin overall, thin at the edge, very high performers. About halfway down, I measured about 2.1 millimeters. And as you'll notice, it just kind of starts tapering down and tapering down and tapering down until it gets thinner and thinner and thinner towards the tip, especially with the grind. So this is known as a distal taper, and this is a great version of a distal taper that just kind of continuously thins out, beautifully, shaped all the way down the blade. So very high performance blade. Blade height is 51 millimeters, so nice and tall, and you can see lots and lots of clearance there on the cutting board. Handle is their basic octagonal hoe wood with buffalo horn ferrule. Circumference, I measured about 76 millimeters or 3 inches where the ferrule meets the wood, so kind of a standard size for this size of knife, and fits the knife handle, or fits the blade quite well. It's octagonal, so it's ambidextrous, really tight handle install. They've been putting a traditional handle install on these where they leave a little bit of the tang showing. It's known as the maki or machi. That's kind of an old school handle install. This is a fully glued up handle, but in the old burn-in style, they leave a little bit of tang there, so if the handle got loose, you could pound it in and tighten the handle up. So this is kind of an homage to that older look, so traditional handle install. You can see the finish on these is machine finish, vertical finish strokes on it, and beautifully crafted. So I guess let's bring it out here. You can see the convexing on the shape. It's really nicely done. So they've got their logo, the HD marker on here, so you know what type of steel it is. Again, it's a mono steel, so there's no cladding line, but you can see the beautiful job they do shaping the blade as it gets thinner from the spine down to the edge. And they've got, pretty decent food release despite the thinness, great performance. Relatively stiff blade for how thin it is. So just really nice fit and finish, polished spine, and all the way down, polished choil and neck. So very comfortable. I'd say the edge on this was about 6 out of 10. These are 50-50 grinds on left and right. Just great performing knives. Balance point, longer blade, light handle, so it's going to be up there, which gives you a little bit of weight forward balance bias to it. So even though it's a very light knife for a 270, it's under 6 ounces. You've got a little bit of sense of a mass on it to help with your cutting power just a little bit. Let's look at this profile. You can do a lot with a 270mm knife, and so that profile is just basically stretched out. There's lots of useful parts of the blade here. So even though it's not a real flat heel, you've got enough gentle shape to the heel where you can chop with it. It kind of flows into a stop there, but nothing hard. And then you've got a lot of middle portion here, again, kind of a gentle belly, and then the tip. So I can get this, up here, The belly's actually not as aggressive on some of their knives, so I can get up here before I start working the tip, trying to dig it in, but it's such a long knife that you don't have to raise it that high before you actually get a lot of clearance here. So there's a lot of advantages to a longer knife. One of them is you don't have to pump the handle up and down as high if you rock to get clearance over a certain size product because of that kind of lever and just geometry factor. The other is you've got lots of parts of the blade. So on a longer knife, if the middle part gets a little dull over time, if you're in a pro environment especially, you can use the heel or you can use the tip. And so you can kind of work different parts of the blade as different parts get less sharp over time. So it helps kind of extend the life where you put it on the stones or put it on the strop. There's just a lot of advantages to a longer blade. You can process bigger product, higher volumes. So, you know, this is a 270. It could be useful in a home environment because it's very light, or definitely a pro environment. Professionals love these knives because they sharpen up easy, hold a decent edge, excellent performers. You know, they're just awesome. So this is the Konosuke HD2 Gyuto 270 millimeter knife.